Pivot tables and spreadsheets are also extremely useful for accentuating key metrics within your data. A pivot table creates a dynamic table that allows you to choose which variables and values are displayed on all the axes and therein. To create a pivot table, you'll first want to highlight all the data you want to display, and then select Data, Pivot Table Report. This opens a new tab with a pivot table option editor on the right. Now what you can do is choose which variables you want to display as rows, and in this case we're going to choose position, and then in columns we're going to choose to display the team, and then the values we want to display, let's say, are the salary. And here now we can see exactly the salary of the catchers on the Anaheim Angels, the Red Sox, and the Yankees. This totals them for us and allows us to also see the total salaries paid for each team, as well as the grand total number or amount of salary paid between the three teams for all the positions. We can also see the total salaries paid per position between the three teams. So as you can see, by choosing what data you display as rows, columns, and values, you can easily see and project out your data in ways to display the key metrics. Now, for instance, in the display value, we can choose to display averages instead of sums if we wanted to see the average salary paid to the catchers on each team, for instance, or if we wanted to see the average salaries paid to third basemen or each position. Now, if we would go back to sum, we can see, of course, the total salaries. We can also filter this by, for instance, position if we wanted to remove certain positions. So we could only show, pitchers, outfielders, and first basemen if we like. Another nice thing about pivot tables is that we can actually create a chart from the data we're displaying in our pivot table that will update based on how we update our pivot table. To do this, similarly as we did in lesson 7.1, you highlight the pivot table, you choose Insert, Chart, and now we can see here the recommended charts for all of these. Now, as we'll see, pitchers are clearly paid the most. In the following exercise, play around with different ways to display your data so you can see the benefits of using a pivot table. Also, create a chart with your data so that you can see how your chart will update once your pivot table updates.